So it's been a few days since Nefer did release, and so did the 6.1 update for Genshin Impact. Honestly, if I was even going to summon for her, was like a big like up to fate thing. We'd see what happens. We'll see if I can resist, because mainly I did plan on skipping, but you know, as you can barely see, I have the character. And so yeah, I'll obviously talk about what happened there. I'll talk about what I thought during the beta and such, how I was excited for her in ways more than not. And then what I obviously do think now that I've practically done nothing but use her ever since I got her. So of course, Nefer being like one of the many characters that was released in Not Cry, I really liked her design. I have a thing for like snake related people. Well, I can't say a thing, it really does depend on how they look and how they act, but Nefer really did strike me. I did want to pull her off design alone, but I wanted to be a bit more picky since Genshin isn't my main game and I'd spend less on it as opposed to something like Starro. So I couldn't be like, yeah, I'm gonna 100% get her no matter what. And obviously, this was before the story was even out. This was like during the big drip market reveals. Well, drip market, quote unquote, but it was during the big reveals, and I saw Flynn's, and obviously he had the biggest priority, and so did Columbina. So I did have to see when she released and what I would be thinking then. Fast forward to the time where Flynn's release, I ended up doing the 6.0 story. He unfortunately didn't really end up being a character that was like really big on my favorites. I already have first impression videos on Flynn's talking about that if you want to check that out. But yeah, Flynn's, both character-wise and usage-wise, ended up not being, like, what's insane for me. In the story, he's cool, like, I like him, but he's not, like, what I'd expect to, like, wail out on, and then gameplay-wise, he was kind of boring to me. So, the extra summons I did after getting the original copy, going up to C1 attempt, losing 50-50 to Chi-Chi, and then going up to Pity again, and then not using it. So, I did have a way where I was able to get it, and then I was also summoning on the weapon banner before it did leave. I pulled Yelan's weapon early. Was debating on at least getting the weapon for Flynn's, but I already had Staff of Scarlet Sand, so I said nah, and I let that fate point expire, unfortunately. But yeah, enough about that, enough about Flynn. So then the drip marketing earlier on came out for Nefer. We knew she was going to be 6.1. Her kit did come out. She was going to be a Lunar Bloom DPS. There was a lot of Doom posting, but it's really not a whole yo beta if there's not a bunch of Doom posting. I didn't necessarily fall for it. I believed that she was going to be way stronger than people were saying. And then when her animations came out, her ultimate was super cool, and her charge attack, like, just, I don't know what it was, but that charge attack really stuck with me. It just looks so cool, and I really just wanted to use it. But at this point, I was still debating on if I was going to summon or not. So once I read her kit, understood her kit, it was kind of like, do I really want to go crazy on this character? Do I want to actually get her? I don't know. We'll see. I did have Llama ready, unfortunately not C1, which C1 Llama would be like a game changer for this team for being a healer in some way. But yeah, when it came to Dendro DPSs, I was already kind of like stacked. Like I had Keenage, and I also did already have Alhaitham, which was my main used one. Anytime I needed Dendro, bloom related, non-bloom related, just having Dendro in general, I always used Alhaitham. And then again, there was Kanish for that as well. So I already kind of was set in the Dendro department. I knew that she was probably going to end up being better than them, but I still was like, I'm already set. Like, these guys still clear. But I don't know. The more I watched her actual chart attack gameplay, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then I don't exactly remember all the changes because I'm not like super up to date with each beta change and I remember them, but I don't really know anything besides the fact that there was something nerfed pre-release, but also something buffed at the same time. Like I think her EM was nerfed or something. Or was the EM buffed? I actually don't remember. It was something around there that like one part was nerfed, one part was buffed. But yeah, so throughout the beta, I was debating on like, do I want to go for her? It's going to be a struggle. And then eventually I decided like, I probably won't. And then I made the dumb decision. This was just like a funny thing. Don't ever do this, by the way. It's the classic building Pity mistake, but this wasn't a mistake. It was kind of just like, if it happens, it happens. I was like, I'm going to build Pity on the weapon banner. If I get her weapon early, I will use my 74 guarantee Pity and pull her. I already had 10-ish Pity on it after I did get the Yelan whip just to see if I can get like an early Flynn's one, but no, I didn't. So her banner did come out. Again, I had like these singles, and I have a screenshot I'm going to post right here. As you see, I was like, I got 6 singles. Watch this, chat. First single went gold, and it was Furina's weapon, unfortunately, which I didn't mind because for me, it would be refinements because my Furina is C6. So I wasn't like too upset, but I'm like, damn, now if I buy a pack, I can get the weapon probably and also just get my Nefer. So I was like, you know what? It's guaranteed to get the weapon now. Screw it. I'm just going to commit to it. So I bought a pack. I had to do like 6 singles, so I got Nefer at like 80 or was it 79? One of the two. It did unfortunately take a few singles, and then I used up the rest of the pack on the weapon, obviously, and I didn't pull it. I was at like 57 pity by the end of it, and I was like, dude, come on. And I was like, I'm not gonna spend my way to it. I'll just get it slowly within the next like few days. And then I used her a bit, and I'm like, damn, she really is just fun. I was also in a bad predicament because I didn't like pre-farm anything. I had no mats ready, so I had to farm the boss. I had to actually farm more talents. I had to farm other things. I was saving the story for later, but I had to do it just to get some extra boss mats while I had no resin, and now my resin situation sucks. So I got her skill up as much as I can. I got her to whatever high level I could. I think I was able to get her to like 80 with all the resin I had. And then her weapon was stuck at level 20. And even then, with the level 80 Nefer and a level 20 weapon, she was just clearing, I almost said MLC, Abyss 12. Floor 12 just got rolled by her. Like, I had no problem clearing it. It was actually kind of insane. It was a bit sad, though, because, like, if I had C1 Nefer, or not C1 Nefer, but C1 Llama at the time, or just now in general, I'd be able to run the full team sustain this without a problem because Llama would be the sustained healing. And I really wish I just skipped Flynn's and just put that pity onto the Llama C1, but I didn't even know this was going to happen, so unfortunate is what it is, maybe on rerun. That was the only thing that was happening because I was running the team of Nefer, Llama, Aino, and also Nahida. So there isn't really any healing there, so any damage I take is going to be permanent. I know there's the whole strat of running prototype Nahida as well, but I just decided I'm just going to go and retry to get the clear since I like seeing big numbers. And then I was seeing like, oh, the damage for her C1 is really good. The damage for her R1 is really good. And I was like, damn. I was in a call with my friends and I'm like, guys, what if I buy a pack and I use the pity on the weapon, get it obviously, so just do singles and then use the rest and see if I can get an early Nefer. And back and forth happened and I ended up buying it. I was like, yeah, screw it. And then so I did a few singles. It took like 8 or 9 to get the weapon. I got the weapon around 67 or 68. And then I switched over to Nefer's banner. I had 4 multis left. I used the 4 multis, got nothing, converted the stuff to singles, used whatever singles, and on like the second or third last one, boom, flashed C1 Nefer. So early C1 Nefer around 46 pity, 50-51. I was super happy. So obviously put in the C1. W experience. So she was already clearing at level 80 and a level 20 weapon, and now she was doing it even better because now she had the weapon. Oh yeah, then obviously before I got the weapon, so backtracking a little bit, before I got her weapon, I just had her on like Nahida's weapon or something, I think. But yeah, then once I got her weapon, it was at level 20 and she was clearing. She cleared with Nahida's weapon. She cleared with all that. She is just doing really good. I didn't test her too much without Llama yet, but the bit I did, it is definitely a very big damage drop off. It's a bit sad on how big it is. But you know, Genshin is sort of following that trend where you do really want that support for the character or they see a big damage drop off. I don't know why they started it recently, but it is what it is. So yeah, without Llama, her damage does drop off. She can still very much clear, especially with like all the stuff favoring lunar stuff right now. It's definitely very much possible. You don't absolutely need Llama to clear with Nefer. If you really like Nefer and you don't have Llama or you don't want to get Llama, you can still use it for a while. But having Llama jumps up her damage so much. I forgot the exact increase, but I think it's like a 40 to 50% increase in damage. Like, it's insane. So yeah, managed to, once again, use her on the proper team. Mainly the bit I used without it was kind of sad, but again, it's still fine. I have so much fun with her. She is so fun. Right now, she has a weapon 90 finally. She herself is level 90, and her talent is level 9 for skill. So I still do need to farm a little more talent books, and I cannot wait to max it out because it's going to be a good jump. I also do need to farm slightly better pieces, even though she's fine right now. Like, in battle with, like, everything active, she has, like, about 90% crit rate. EM is, like, over 1,000 because she does have Nahida on the team, so she gets a lot there. 800 is not a problem. And she also has, like, 316% crit damage anyway. So, yeah, she is doing insane numbers. 200Ks on the last hit of the chart attack. The other one's doing, like, 140K. It fluctuates depending on what I'm doing, because I also don't have, like, an instructor set up, because I need to actually get an instructor pieces, because right now, both my Llama and Nahida both have deep wood, and I can't change that right now because I don't have the pieces. So the fact I can actually optimize that further is insane to me. I am also slowly going for C2. If I get it, cool. I'm not going to spend for it, but I'm just doing singles, whatever I get throughout the update to try to get it. If I do, that's a big W. If I don't, is what it is. She is super fun. The damage she does, as I mentioned, she is just really good. She just absolutely shreds through Abyss 12. When Stinging Onslaught resets, I'm going to use her on that, of course. And the chart attack, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, dude. It's just, it feels so nice to use. She probably is my second favorite DPS right now, number 1 still being Skirk. But yeah, so my first impressions on her, despite all the stuff that was happening and me being reluctant to skip, but then end up getting her anyways. She is super fun, insanely strong, and she's also just really cool in the story. 6.1 was a peak. She was really cool in there as well. But yeah, again, first impressions, very satisfied. Super fun unit to use. Very strong output numbers, seeing the damage really satisfying, and probably the coolest chart attack in the game. That does wrap up my first impressions. If you also did summon for Nefer, definitely let me know in the comments on how you feel about her. If you did enjoy the video, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all types of Genshin Impact content. And I'll see you later. Peace out.